we have one more team before the break. So I'm going to invite Blue Food Eric, Blue Food on now, and we'll do the last, and then we'll just have a 10-minute break, 15-minute break. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, we don't have tea available until. So we'll have a stretch break, not a tea break. Thank you for your patience for that. Eric, in class. Eric from Blue Food.
Yep, my name is Eric. I'm here today with my great team back here, and we're talking about food safety, right? So this is a picture of Delhi. Did a bunch of research in Delhi and looked at street food. Now we love street food, it is delicious. We like to eat it all the time. And it's huge in India. Indians love street food, it's the best way to get food. The problem is it's not clean. And you can look right there and see that there's some flies in that, what is it, sugar, this milk has been out for ages. That looks like it's lukewarm. People here are nervous about street food, the quality of it, the safety of it. And we're trying to address that problem. And the problem is of huge scale. There is 1 crore people working in the streets of India, hawking, selling, doing that kind of thing. That's everyone, but we think food is a significant part of that, millions. This is a huge market. So if we address the issue of food safety, who exactly are our stakeholders? Well, first of all, there's a guy named Shrew. And Shrew is our consumer. So we know 3 things about him. We surveyed a bunch of people like him in Delhi. Number 1 thing we learned about him is he values safe food. Consumers understand this problem, right? They care about it. Number 2, they experience poisoning, they get sick. 93% of people like Shrew experience food poisoning within the past year. That's what they said in the survey, 93%. People get sick, they don't like it all the time. And the thing is, when they get sick, it's a problem for them. They lose income, they can't go to work, they feel awful. They're willing to pay a premium for a premium safe product, up to 25% more for safe food. That's a great opening for us. So who's our other stakeholder? Our other stakeholder is a guy named Vanish, all right? Hold on a second. So Vanish, we know 3 things about him. He wants loyal customers. He wants customers that come to him every day. He lacks the skills to give them the product they want, that safe product they want. And finally, they're willing to learn and change their ways to make a safer product. 90% of people who sell on the street will change the way they prepare food to make a safer product to get more consumers paying a higher amount of money. All right? That's great. So we take these stakeholders, I'm going to add in the government, and then we're going to blend them together. The consumer wants safe food, doesn't know where to find it, but is willing to pay more to get it. The vendor wants to prepare safe food for his customer and doesn't know how, but is willing to change. And finally, the government is passing all sorts of ambitious laws to make a safer product, but they're not putting their money behind it, they're not making it happen, they want partners, right? That's our opening. So Blue Food comes in and blends these things together in the right combination, and we solve this problem. So we are a food safety consulting and certification service. Consulting and certification. So what do we do? What does that mean? Well, let's talk about these stakeholders again, all right? So we work with vendors to do education and training and teach them about how to serve safe food. You know, we talk about temperature, we talk about water, we talk about hand washing. And if they do a good job, we check on them every week. If they do a good job, we give them a certification. We give them a logo to put in their card. It says Blue Food. And meanwhile, we work with consumers, all right? We market, we target, we go to these street corners, we meet consumers where they are, and we tell them if it's Blue Food, that means it's safe. You can go there, you can trust it. We expect to bring these consumers paying a premium to our partner vendors. Our partner vendors are going to make more money, and they're going to pay us a small fee for that service. That's the model right there. All right? So what is our value proposition exactly? Number 1, for the vendor, vendors make more money selling a premium product. All of a sudden, they're not just a street vendor, they're a premium street vendor charging a premium price. All right? Consumer gets the street food they love, it's healthy, and it's safe. It's great for the consumer. So I've been talking about we're going to make food safe, which is a difficult thing to do. How exactly am I going to do that? Well, we're going to do basically a 5-step process. So food safety is basically a solved problem. It's not complicated. People know how to make food safe. You just do a couple things. And we're going to do those things here. It's very easy to understand. Number 1, food sourcing. Our partner vendors need to get food from safe places. That means you get the fresh vegetables, not the ones that have been rotting for 5 days. You get milk that you know isn't adulterated. This is simple to do. Maybe a little bit more expensive, but for a premium product, it's worth it. Number 2, food protection. Hand washing, covering food, keeping flies and bugs away. It's simple, people just have to start doing it. Number 3, temperature. Stuff needs to be either very cold or very hot, not in the middle. Again, it's basic. Number 4, facility design. People need to have a place to put waste, so stuff doesn't just accumulate and make things dirty. And finally, hygiene, general appearance. This is as valuable for our perception as it is for the actual implementation. People need to be clean, with trimmed fingernails and looking like they've taken a shower. It's important to look clean because it makes an impact in terms of food safety, and it makes us have a much better perception, all right? These things make the difference. So, who do we target? Who is our partner vendor? There's a whole range of vendors serving food in the streets of Delhi or India or anywhere, and we're only going to target a certain segment of them. There's people who are kind of on the ground, serving food just out in the middle of nowhere. We can't really work with them. We don't think there's much we can do to make that food safe. Safer, but not safe. On the high end, there's storefronts. They sell food, the same food at a higher price from a fixed location. People trust that more. But we're going to work with the middle vendor, and here's why. Because there's a price of it. So if you don't have a cart, let's say you charge 15 bucks for a meal. A comparable meal from a more hygienic mobile cart with an actual infrastructure, that might be 25 rupees. The guy at the store charges 45. We're going to make this middle guy a premium product. He's going to charge a little bit more than 25, but he can compete now with his fixed location. And again, we think he can make up to 25% more. Maybe that's more consumers paying the same amount. Maybe that's the same number of consumers paying a higher amount, some combination. But he's going to make a lot more money. And we're going to charge him a fee of about 250 rupees a week. All right? So this is what he's making more, and that's what we take from him. That's a pretty good value proposition, I think. That's what we're doing. So here's where we are. I'm here in India. I'm not from here. I'm from Minnesota, but I came here to make this work. We have $9,500 in funding. We're very, very grateful for Acara in making that happen. And we're going to do a pilot study. We're going to start on July 1st. We're continuing for 6 or 7 weeks. And we're going to test these assumptions. All right? That's why we're here, is to test our assumptions. This is Catherine. This is her first dosa. She really liked it. We're here to do 3 things in our pilot, all right? We're testing assumptions, we're building partnerships, and we're prepping for lunch. So there's 3 of us here that are master's students in sustainable development. This is what we want to do. We came here to do this, we're really committed to it, we're going to make it happen. All right? So we're testing these assumptions this summer. Number 1, will consumers care about us? Number 2, will vendors improve the way they change food? And number 3, will vendors pay us this fee for doing what we do? That's what we're testing. If these things work, we think we have a plan. Now, we're pre-pilot. Come to us in 2 months, we're going to have something different for you. That's the process, it's iteration. But we're going to stick with this, we want you to stick with us, all right? We're here, we're coming back in January to build this happen. We're spending 6 people months to 3 people over 2 months testing this stuff. We're going to be looking for funding, looking for mentorships, we're looking for incubation, we're looking for any sort of services that any of you in the room have for us. So we really appreciate what you have, we want you to stick with us, and we're going to make this happen. So thanks very much.